But anyways, I like hip hop. That's all I listen to. So there's a lot of rappers out there that I think don't get the props they deserve. Personally, like I said, this is just my thoughts. But I'm starting it from the bottom up. At number 10, we got Oddisee. He's from DC. He's a rapper, producer. I really love his sound. He's a great producer and a great rapper. Plus, he does, unique stuff. He doesn't just do straight up albums. He does instrumental albums. He does experimental albums with live instruments and whatnot. But he has a lot of awesome songs, and there's one that I really like that's not produced by him, but it's still really good. It's called A Song for That. And I don't know. Let's see if I can play some of it for you. I don't know what's gonna sound like. The beat is sick, produced by M Phases, this guy from Australia. Wait, anyways, I don't want to go on and on about listening to this shit because I'm trying not to make this video be too long, but it may already be. But that's my number 10, Oddisee. Let's see, my number 9, Insight, another rapper producer who's really good, and I haven't heard anything new from him in a while. I don't know. I hope that doesn't mean he stopped, but he's a sick producer, awesome MC, and he just has a really great sound that I love. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything from him recently. I hope he's still doing it. But yo, check out anything from this guy. He's got a lot of really good albums. Targeting Zones is one of them, actually. But he has like a bunch of good albums that I really like, and everything he's done I liked. I've never heard anything from him that was weak at all. So that's Insight, rapper producer. I don't know. I think he's from Detroit. I'm not sure. So yeah, I gotta readjust my list. I'm just remembering names that I haven't even put on here, so I'm gonna pause for a second. Yep, so continuing on. Number 3 is Freddie Foxx. Freddie Foxx is dope, aka Bumpy Knuckles, and he has this fucking retarded banana song called Bumpy Knuckles Baby, produced by P-Rock, and it's one of the sickest, dirtiest tracks I've ever heard in my life. I actually might have to play it now because it's unbelievably insane, and it may be my favorite Pete Rock beat of all time. Go faster, go faster, go faster. This is the dirtiest, sickest beat ever made. Anyways, yeah, I couldn't keep playing that song because it's fucking sick. But yeah, Freddie Foxx, aka Bumpy Knuckles, Industry Shakedown is his best album. He doesn't really have a whole bunch of albums, unfortunately, but it's a great album. Got some Primo shit on there, and he always works for Primo, and anyone who works for Primo I love by default. Alright, number 7. Oatie Kato. Probably no one's ever heard of, because this guy, don't even know if he raps anymore. But he was part of this group called The Goats, and one of my favorite albums of all time. It's probably one of the most underrated albums of all time. The Tricks of the Shade by The Goats. It's a fucking amazing, spectacular album. And he's one of the 3 of the MCs from the group. And everything he says is just insane. Like, he has a great voice. And the album is very politically charged, but Tricks of the Shade, check out that album. It's just really fucking good. Came out in '92. Super duper underrated. Definitely the most underrated album, in my opinion. But I'm trying not to take too long. But here we go. One of my favorite MCs who's like so very underrated. He also has weird dreadlocks too. he's from Boston. He's in his 40s now. He just came out with another album, and he's still really good. He has a very unique sound. When he raps, he kind of just sounds like Marv Albert, or he's just like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but he has a unique sound, and he's always just had a lot of really cool shit to say. So that was supposed to be who number 6 was. I got messed up. Number 5 is Phonte from Little Brother. Little Brother is a band that Ninth Wonder started out with. I feel like I've always compared them to Tribe Called Quest in a way, just because, even though, you know, Tribe is Tribe, but they came out in the early 2000s and they were really good, and they had this great sound thanks to the, you know, the amazing dopeness of Ninth Wonder, who, you know, I'll always be talking about, just like I'll always be talking about DJ Premier, because I love them both. They're both incredible. But Phonte, just a great MC, very kind of the working man's MC, I like to call him, because he just raps about the most mundane shit of life. Like, you know, he doesn't rap about living on the streets or being a drug dealer. He just raps about going to work and having a girlfriend and a kid. And he still makes it sound good because he's just got a really good way of making it sound dope. And yeah, Phonte, very underrated, I feel. Black Thought, of course. Black Thought from The Roots. I mean, yeah, everyone knows who The Roots is, but I still feel like people don't get how much of a sick rapper Black Thought is. Very underrated, I feel, you know. Like, The Roots is obviously gained a lot more popularity thanks to being on that whatever show with what's his face, whose name I forget right now. But yeah, Black Thought has always been good. Always. Never heard him do a whack verse in my entire life, I don't think. Black Thought. Yeah, so I had to do some editing. I decided to change the third from someone else to this guy. It's gonna be someone, whatever, doesn't matter. And then I kept remembering other guys, and I remembered Ed O.G. And Ed O.G. is just so fucking dope, and he's ridiculously underrated, you know. But he's also one of those guys that have just been underground, always been underground. And you know, even just right here on the little Wikipedia, whatever this is, you know, he's not really known in the mainstream, but a cult following in Boston, where he's from, and you know, and sometimes internationally too, MCs can be huge, like especially in Japan. There's a gigantic, massive Japanese hip hop like movement of just not movement, but you know, just in Japan, they just love hip hop over there. That sometimes they get versions of albums that you don't get in the States. But anyways, Ed O.G. I've always, like, I've never always thought it was dope. Okay, that's not a bit of a lie. Cause yeah, but this foreign verse that he has on his album called My Own Worst Enemy, the whole album that he does with Pete Rock, just him and Pete Rock doing all the beats. And this verse, I'm just gonna play the verse. I don't know how it's gonna hear, but his second verse on this track called Right Now, Pete Rock, is just insane, and it's one of the reasons why he became one of my favorite MCs.
Yo, my diction fixing with friction, spit non-fiction without contradiction, mixed in. Cause Ed O.G. got a sick pen, got affliction, out the jurisdiction when chicks in. About to rain like monsoons, upon goons, immune to the pop tune cartoons. They repeat themselves, defeat themselves. Me, I compete with self, nigga. I tweak and critique every word I speak, so I leave them asleep like an antique. You and your man tweak, been ahead of it. Smack you with the mic, give your ass a speech impediment. I do it for the betterment. Y'all chiropractic chat is only good for a settlement. You got beef, settle it. I roll with a ghetto with Ed O.G. credited. Come on now.
Yeah, alright. So that was pretty sick. That verse was just so sick. And yeah, I just wanted to play it. But anyways, yeah, that's actually my third. Is Ed O.G. 2 is one that's just personal to me. Is A.G. Andre the Giant. This guy is just awesome. I don't think barely anyone even knows who he is, really. He used to be part of Show and A.G. Showbiz. It was him and a group together. Showbiz, Show and A.G. was called. They didn't have that many albums, but I've always just loved A.G.'s voice. Short for Andre the Giant. But I don't know, I mean, just type in Andre the Giant or DITC. And I don't know, there's a song called Holding It Down with him and Big L. Another kind of underrated rapper, but only because he died before he had a chance to blow up, which really sucks. He got shot or something. But Andre the Giant, A.G., he has a great flow, great cadence. Very, very underrated. Yeah, I'm going to go to my number 1 right now. Posdnuos from De La Soul. One of my favorite groups, absolutely. Posdnuos is just such a good MC, and I feel like, you know, even being in a group that's pretty well known, people don't seem to understand how fucking dope he is. This is a weird picture. I couldn't really find that many good pictures of him. Like, you know, he's been in a band that's been out since the 80s. Like 3 Feet High and Rising came out in 1989. You know, that's a long fucking time ago. And they're still together. De La Soul hasn't come out with a new album in like 10 years, but apparently they're still together. But you know, Posdnuos, one of my favorite rappers. He's always been for years, and he's just really underrated. And one of my favorite verses of his is on The Business. He has a track with him. It's him and Common on there too, but he just has this verse that just absolutely kills it. I don't know if I can play it.
I'm the most from the coast of the eastern fleet, dropping more knowledge to them on the New York page. It's me, wonder why, in the place to be. On the New York page, it's me, wonder why, in the place to be. Certified as superior MC, while others explore to make it hardcore. I make it hardcore. Whack MCs, they even 7 sides. These kids is rhyming sometimes. And when we get the races on the mic, they line up to see the lyrical killing with stained eagles on the ceiling.
My rhymes escalates like black death plates over musical plates.
Being played as the rule. Kids thinking step into the soldier living. Claim to drop you, but when I do the catch it. I don't worry on what crew you run or what section of earth you reside. You're not even a man, so I don't deem it mandatory taking your pride. But I will, cause my man said so for the life. You try
keeping it real, but you should try keeping it right. You understand it right on mathematics.
At least the currency in temporary world status. And when one shows he pose threat to this one will make that one into none. Simple equation, 0. You shouldn't play hero if you can't stand strong like the island up front. The other beat.
Yeah, alright, so I played a bit of it, but I just love that verse, and that verse is one of the reasons why Posdnuos is my favorite. One of my favorite MCs ever, and definitely one of the most underrated. But yeah, this video is almost 15 minutes now. Tried to keep it under that, but whatever. Anyways, that's my top 10 underrated. You don't agree, let me know, or let me hear who you think is underrated. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching. This is the Loon, I'm out.